What is going on? Welcome back to the free agency preview series. This is episode 3, okay, and we're going to be talking about Yannick Ngakoue, edge rusher, defensive end from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, the first thing that pops in my head, the first thought I have when I think about Yannick Ngakoue, it's simple. It's speed off the edge. Speed off the edge. And yes, the Jacksonville Jaguars do play in the 4-3 system, so we have to factor that in as Jets fans here. He's not kind of coming in from that 3-4 stand-up system, right? He has his hand in the dirt and he's getting after the passer, trying to beat tackles around the edge, getting after quarterbacks. He has shown an ability in his young career, right? 4 years in the league, third-round pick, former third-round pick out of, I think it was Maryland. Hats off to Dave Caldwell for that draft selection. I mean, this guy has shown an ability to draft young players and have them kind of grow into dominant players. Guys like Ramsey, Fournette, Miles Jack, Tevin Coleman, course retired, Allen Robinson, whatever, Allen Hurns. He's drafted very good players for that team. It's just kind of a matter of keeping them, retaining them, and creating a culture down there in Jacksonville. But I digress. The point is that Yannick Ngakoue is set to hit the open market. Now, there have been a couple rumors that the Jaguars are actually going to tag Ngakoue, but according to Yannick, according to his Twitter and stuff like that, he's tweeting out, frankly, I'm not playing for this team. I'm done with the Jaguars. I'm not lacing up for the black and teal. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to be a Jaguar this upcoming season. So it kind of puts the Jags in a weird situation. Are they just going to let him walk? Are they going to tag him and try to trade him? If they do tag him and can't really find a trade partner, now you're in a situation where you're not even playing you're paying a player X amount of dollars, right? It's a pretty hefty price tag for an edge rusher for franchise tags heading into this season, and he sits out. That's something that the Jags do not want to happen. But let's just say he hits the open market, okay? Or let's just say he's available via trade and the Jets pick him up. How would I like that? How would he fit with this team? Now, I did address before that he plays in a 4-3 system. Now, Greg Williams, even though we ran the 3-4 last year, it's just due in part to the roster, right? We just don't have the players at linebacker at the defensive line position, whether you want to talk about interior, exterior, edge, whatever. We don't have the personnel to fit the 4-3 system, really what Greg wants to do on the defensive side of the football. If we were to go out and sign a guy like Yannick Ngakoue, that would, I think, even though he's not the perfect system fit, he still gives the Jets such an incredible speed threat off the edge. It would just take the defense from here to here. It would really boost this team, boost this defense, okay? Really make offensive coordinators scared of this defense. I mean, yeah, we have really good, young, talented players on this squad like Marcus May and Jamal Adams. We have C.J. Mosley coming back, and of course, Quinnen Williams. But at cornerback, it's just a desolate position. Really, when you take a look, yeah, we have Avery Williamson coming back, but he could possibly get cut, so we don't really know what's going on there. If the Jets were to land a big money, a big name, former Pro Bowler in Yannick Ngakoue, it would be huge, okay? It would be huge, and that's... Every Jet fan knows that. Every Jet fan knows that we haven't had a good pass rusher in forever. I feel like it's been my entire life since the Jets have had a solid pass rusher. I mean, the last really good season that just kind of comes to memory is back in 2015, okay, 4 to 5 years ago, with Muhammad Wilkerson, okay, and that wasn't even consistent. That was just a one-year wonder kind of thing. I mean, he wasn't really a threat off the edge, right, where quarterbacks were, kind of avoiding him. Game plans were avoiding Muhammad Wilkerson. It wasn't really like that. So, bottom line is this. Yannick Ngakoue is an extreme talent. Remember, he's only 24 years old, set to hit the open market. So you're if you're one of these teams that are in the market for Yannick, and right now I've really only seen a couple, the Jets being the front runner. I've seen the Miami Dolphins kind of in the, looming as well. But I've seen the Jets really, really up there. I've even seen, conversations between Yannick Ngakoue and Jamal Adams talking about a potential fit in New York. I've seen the New York Giants also kind of be in the mix for Yannick Ngakoue as well. Bottom line is Yannick is going to get paid. He's going to get a mega deal. I like Yannick Ngakoue a ton. I think this is one of the free agents that if the Jets were to go out and sign, it wouldn't only benefit them for this season or the next season. This move can possibly benefit this team in a great way for years. right, for years, because like I said before, he's 24 years old and has dominated the NFL. Back in 2017, he had 12 sacks. Okay, that's his second year in the league. He had 12 sacks, 6 forced fumbles. That's insane. That was his Pro Bowl season as well. Now, of course, he had 8 sacks last year, and I think 9.5 before that. Back in 2018. So his production has dipped a little bit, but Jacksonville, I just feel like it's just a mess down there in Jacksonville. It's just like, what's going on? There's quarterback question marks. There's players just wanting out. It's just a complete mess. But Yannick Ngakoue has definitely put up numbers over his young career. I think if you take him right now, you place him on this Jets team, again, immediately, the minute he's on this team, he's the best pass rusher on the team since the last 5 to 10 seasons, right? I can't even really remember the Jets having a dominant pass rusher. And I'm not talking about, oh, we need a top 3 rusher in the league. I'm just talking about maybe a top 15 guy, a top 15 edge rusher. We haven't had that luxury in forever. Not under Rex Ryan, not under Todd Bowles. So far, not under Greg Williams. Even though, of course, Greg Williams kind of stepped in. It is what it is. He's not even the head coach of the team here. But look, I would love Yannick Ngakoue. I would love it. If the Jets were to somehow manage a way to sign him to a big money deal, if the Jags want to tag him, and then we can maybe flip like a mid to late round pick for him, because the minute he signs the tag with Jacksonville, I think his trade value goes down. Then it's kind of up to the teams like the Jets and the Giants, possibly the Miami Dolphins, to kind of start that bidding war. Who's going to give up the highest pick? Now, remember, the Jets do have 2 third-round picks available, so maybe we could package those. Maybe we can only give one up. We'll see what Jacksonville wants in return. Let's see how much the Giants want him. Let's see how much the Miami Dolphins want him. I've also seen the Redskins in there too, but I don't really think that could go, come to kind of bloom into an actual reality. I really do think he's either going to be a Jet or a Giant, one of those 2 teams. Same with Jadeveon Clowney, man, but Clowney's kind of a separate video. But I'm looking at a guy right now who's dominated the NFL. He's already made the Pro Bowl. He's 24 years old, and he's considered one of the best pass rushers in the league. Again, he's not the best. He's not a top 3, not top 5. But you can make the argument right now at 24 years old that he's only going to get better. He's already athletic. He's already played on both sides of the field. I really like Yannick Ngakoue. Okay, and to kind of push back, to kind of argue with me here, you can say, well, the Jaguars had Calais Campbell. The Jaguars had Dante Fowler. The Jaguars had Marcel Darius in the defensive line. They have Taven Bryant, former first-round pick, even though he hasn't really lived up to expectations. So if this guy's getting a lot of one-on-one looks, what's going to happen when he comes to a team with virtually no pass rush at all? Is he going to get double-teamed? Are offenses going to kind of tailor their game plan in the opposite direction and just kind of neutralize them? So we're shelling out all this cash, right, $17, $18, $19 million, whatever it's going to be, for really a player that's not going to make that big of an impact statistics-wise. Yes, you can make that argument, but I'll push back and say we drafted Quinnen Williams 3rd overall for a reason last year. There's a reason why Quinnen was so highly regarded around the league. There was a reason why Joe Douglas got calls. As soon as he took over, multiple picks were being offered. Multiple high picks were being offered for Quinnen Williams just immediately. As soon as Joe Douglas got the job, okay, he was getting calls from multiple teams for multiple high picks. Quinnen Williams is a young player, and I know he just had the hiccup with the the whole thing at the airport. I don't think there was any ill intentions with that. I think it was probably just a mistake. I don't remember Quinnen Williams ever having off the field issues, arrest issues before this. So I don't think this is going to be a reoccurring thing here. I just think it's probably one of those things where it's let's maybe think about what we're doing before we act kind of situation here. So I look at Quinnen Williams and I look at guys like Steve McClendon, right? Guys that can still perform at high levels here. I really like this defense. Okay, we were a top run defense last season. We just couldn't get after the passer. With all the injuries that this defense kind of had throughout the course of last year, what Greg Williams had to force out on the field, right? Just extremely thin at corner. Avery Williamson goes down. C.J. Mosley goes down. There was a lot of new faces on defense. There was a lot of turnover on defense. Let's get some solid players in the building, some guaranteed starters, some instant upgrades in the building. Now, I don't know how likely it is for the Jets to sign Yannick. I think the Giants probably right now, like today, are going to be the front runner because I know they desperately need pass rushers, and I feel like the Jets might have a little bit of they kind of have bigger issues right now with the offensive line because Greg has shown he can put out a solid defense with not a lot of talent. Adam Gase, on the other hand, has not shown that ability. So I think Joe Douglas' first priority would be, let's get this offense rolling. Let's get Sam some weapons. Let's get an offensive line in the building so we can actually start running the football like a normal team, as opposed to throwing bubble screens all the time and getting our quarterbacks killed. And, the O-line has definitely been a unit that we've ignored for quite some time. So I could see Joe Douglas maybe taking a pass on guys like Yannick, guys like Jadeveon Clowney, Dante Fowler, big money guys, to kind of sit back and say, hey, let's spend our money on the offensive line. Let's spend our money on the offensive side of the trenches here. So that's kind of my overall thoughts. I would love Yannick Ngakoue. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I think this guy, the one thing I always fall back on is his age. I think because he's 24 years old, right, the same age as Jamal Adams, the sky's the limit for this dude. Okay, this is a guy who in 4 years from now is going to be entering his prime. Think about that for just a second. 27, 28 years old, you're entering your prime, and you've already had 7 to 8 years experience in the National Football League, and you've already made a Pro Bowl this early. It's insane. I think Yannick Ngakoue, he could be a sleeping giant here. He could emerge as the number one pass rusher in a couple seasons, right? An easy number one guy, especially when Von Miller gets up there in age, when Khalil Mack gets up there in age. So I like Ngakoue a ton. Let me know your thoughts, and as always, thanks so much for watching, and go Jets.